All right. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Again, my name's Carl, and this is the Redacted Debunker. Today, we're going to do a video on cryptids. So this is another slept ham. Seriously, he's got some of the best videos because he does not weed them out for crazy or funny content. So we're going to look at this one and see what these cryptids are about. So anyways, chat with me, talk with me. Let's get this going. And the name of this one is the scariest cryptid videos ever captured.
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some super creepy things that have been caught on camera that are starting to freak the internet out.
Freak the internet out.
And get ready for more creepy content. Just like this. When geneticist Neil Gemmell first went on his expedition to Loch Ness, he probably didn't expect to find anything too out of the ordinary. However, he was in for a shock when he reviewed the last bit of his underwater footage. While he may not have stumbled upon the fabled prehistoric plesiosaur that is said to stalk the depths of the Scottish lake, he was still able to find something truly surprising. In this short clip, we can see a fish slowly making its way towards the camera. While this may seem innocuous at first, it later becomes clear that the fish is swimming away from something. Watch what happens.
All right, let's see if we can see what this is. All right. Right. Oh, okay.
As you can see, a long tentacle or eel-like creature makes its way through the background.
It looks like a dead fish floating. I think it's just a dead fish floating above. Context is always the most important thing in videos like this.
According to the scientist, it's more likely.
Yeah, let's go backward.
While this may seem innocuous at first, while he may not have stumbled upon the fabled prehistoric plesiosaur that is said to stalk the depths of the Scottish lake, he was still able to find something truly surprising.
Let's see. Come on.
In this short clip, we can see a fish slowly making its way towards the camera.
So this looks like a minnow in a little tiny stream. It doesn't. These look like pebbles. They don't look like boulders or rocks or anything like that.
This may seem innocuous at first, it later becomes clear that the fish is swimming away from something. Watch what happens.
Yeah. Because I'm guessing that maybe this fish is like about that long, give or take. It doesn't look like a big fish. So those pebbles are like rocks, little rocks. So this whole thing is like, that's floating by is about that big. I mean, it could be literally a billion different things. And it's not deep. The water's not deep. You can see the water edge right over there. Or is this supposed to be at the bottom of the water?
A long tentacle or eel-like creature makes its way through the background.
It looks like a stick. Actually, it's a stick.
According to the scientists, it's more likely that Nessie is a large eel rather than some prehistoric dinosaur. And points to this video as proof.
Slapped ham's the best.
Furthermore, for the myth to have persisted for so long, he figures that several of these eel-like creatures must call Loch Ness home. Although the legend of Loch Ness Monster traces its roots to Irish missionaries in the region in the 6th century, the modern image of this creature has primarily been informed by the reports of Scottish journalists in the 1930s.
Yeah.
Taken in 1938, the iconic surgeon's photo depicts a silhouette of what appeared to be a large creature in Loch Ness. The authenticity of this photo was later debunked. It turns out it was just a toy submarine.
Right.
Nonetheless, the image ignited a worldwide passion for the creature, and many people
And that picture too also looks like it was just like a swimmer's hand or something like that. It's just, you get crappy photos and it can be anything. Now, I've been to Loch Ness, and I will say that it looks like there's things in the water everywhere you go. The water's really, really dark. We went on a beautiful day too. It was like blue skies. And the waves still made you you kept looking in the water thinking you saw something constantly. Or it could have also been too, we were looking for Nessie in the waters.
In the hope of catching a glimpse of this ancient beast. So if there truly are a breeding population of undiscovered eels down in the depths of Loch Ness, then where did they come from? And why have they eluded scientists for so long?
I think it's a stick. It doesn't move if you look. It's solid as it's going by. If it's an eel, the eel has rigor mortis.
This strange little TikTok was uploaded
baby
by
dragon.
Paranormal Wiki. It was allegedly filmed in a rural mountain range in Japan. Watch what was caught on camera. The clip is only brief, but shows a small dragon-like creature swimming in a stream.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool.
While the majority of viewers think the clip is just a hoax,
it's
strange that cultures all around the world have dragons embedded in their mythology. For thousands of years, disparate...
It's like a rubber dragon on a fishing line. It looks like it's moving like a fishing lure.
The globe have believed in dragons in some form or another.
It's not a dragon.
In medieval Europe, dragons were large winged, fire-breathing creatures to be conquered on quests. However, in ancient China, dragons were believed to control the weather, guarding heaven and earth against outside forces. So why were these creatures believed...
And they all sound like Eddie Murphy. Don't forget that too.
...to be real for so long? Could there be a thread of truth running through the mythology of these ancient cultures? Adrian Mayer, a professor at Stanford University, believes that fossilized dinosaur bones may have seeded folk tales about dragons and other legendary beasts like griffins. Ancient cultures around the world most likely...
Okay, so this is weird. It seems like Slapped Ham is actually debunking the videos as he's doing these. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with this.
Counted dinosaur bones, then verbal stories and written tales would have perpetuated the myths about dragons. So while this short clip is most likely...
Yeah, you can see the head's kind of out of the water the whole time.
So
you can't see the string, but it's moving around like someone's, pulling a line.
When YouTuber, caught on tape, began to hear strange noises around his house, he decided to investigate.
What's in the attic?
His camera, he carefully followed the sounds to their source.
I think we've seen this one before.
Just as the YouTuber
not on this channel.
Seemed to be coming from the attic.
But me and my wife, I think we've seen this before.
Since I've been back, most nights I've been hearing noises in my attic.
Which is a really good thing because sounds from your attic are really freaking scary.
In the video's description, he notes that he believes some sort of creature has taken up residence in his home, and judging by the tone of his voice, he certainly seems to be a little scared.
Yeah. If you heard something in your attic, you'd be scared too.
The noises outside as much. You hear that? Listen.
Though a little reluctant, he continues to explore, hoping to capture evidence of the creature on camera. Even the YouTuber's cat seems nervous as the sounds continue emanating from the ceiling above.
Kitty, what are you doing?
That cat doesn't look nervous. That cat's being a cat.
The YouTuber heads into the attic with just the light of the camera to illuminate his way.
Hello? Hello?
Suddenly, a terrifying noise pierces the darkness.
I think it's just...
Let's hear it. Is it terrifying?
It's just a raccoon.
Okay, that does sound scary. I'm not gonna lie, but that also sounds like looking at wild animal in an attic. What do you guys think? Listen.
The YouTuber nervously pans the camera around.
I mean, I don't know what would make that noise, but it sounds more animal-like than anything else.
Then, as the camera passes a dark nook of the attic, we see something horrifying. Take a look.
What's he gonna see?
As you can see, there seems to be some kind of creature blending into its surroundings.
Yeah. See, I don't see it
Whatever it is,
until they zoomed in on it. And honestly, that looks like some discolored insulation. So my guess is that this is your brain just filling in the gaps. And there is, okay, let's just assume that he didn't put the sound of the whatever it is in post, and that there was really something up there. Because if he had an animal in his attic and it's making all these noises bouncing around, which he would have heard, and then he gets up there and it screams, I would be scared too. And this, if I saw that, my mind instantly would be like, there's something crazy in there. Because if you look, there's the board. I think that's a board right there, and this is insulation behind it. And the board just kind of vanishes into its neck. I'm going to say that it's just a discolored piece.
There's very little in the way of facial features on its pale, sallow skin.
Yeah.
Viewers of the video have
Because even when you look at it and you know it's there, like look, if you, he's going to go over it. See? Yeah. It's just, it doesn't move. It doesn't, see, look.
Perhaps it was simply a pile of junk that looked like a ghoulish creature.
That's what it is.
That said, this theory does little to explain the horrifying screeching sounds.
No, I think he had a wild animals in his attic.
Whatever the creature is,
and that it just hit the right time, right when he was looking up there. Poor guy. That's why he wore the brown pants.
These clips were posted to TikTok by username WV Paranormal. In August 2021, the uploader's young family was out in the backyard playing in the garden when something.
So this looks like it might be near, like in the south, like South Carolina, Georgia.
She obviously gets a
like the pine trees.
Camera over at some trees.
Yeah.
That's what she captured.
I'm gonna say it's like Georgia, South Carolina area. So.
At first, it's a bit difficult to see, but if
you
look closely, you should be able to make
zoom in and dance. Right, so you see, it's right there.
To be watching the kids playing around.
I mean, there's definitely something there. I'm not gonna. No, I won't take that away. You can see it. It's right. It's right there. Because I mean, unless it moves, you're not gonna notice it. And then it just kind of goes away.
At first, it's a bit difficult to see, but if you look
Let's
closely,
look again.
you should be able to make out what appears.
So, there's this. It's that thing right there.
Seems to be a figure looming in the trees. It seems to be watching the.
And then it kind of moves back.
Around outside.
I think that's the best view you're going to get of this thing. I mean, honestly, if you saw that and watching your kids, I'd be freaked out. Would not be a happy person.
The very next day, the mother spots the figure again. Watch.
Oh my God, nobody is gonna ever believe this.
You can see it right there. And that looks different to me. So the other face was gray. This one's white.
All right, we're going.
Let's. I hope he zooms in on this one. Let's see what it is.
Can be seen standing right behind a shed. It seems to have a featureless gray face.
Yeah, so you can see it right there. So, white face. It looks like it's got a black body or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one. Because and anytime that I see a white-looking face popping out of the corner, my first thing that is it's a possum. Possums love to get up high. They do not like to hang around on the ground. They like to get into trees. And a lot of times people see like eyes in trees. They're typically possums. They love to eat ticks, so which is good. The little bit of black coming off the side, that could be to the camera like a little bit of pixelation, because I mean you look at the surrounding area, everything's kind of warped and jagged and stuff like that. So that might not actually be there. There definitely is kind of a large white face. My first thought is possum because of the color.
All right, we're going back inside.
The family has no idea.
That's going to be my guess.
They aren't
That's
sure
going to be
if
my
it's a
guess.
trespasser watching their kids or if it's something a little more mysterious. What's your take on this? And what would you do if you saw someone watching your family from a distance? Let me know.
Well, if you live in the South, you go get a gun and you figure out who it is. Take care of business is what you do.
All right, we're going back inside.
I grew up in places that look just like that.
TikTok user Cryptid Chronicles has uploaded a video that shows a holidaymaker going about their day at an American ski resort when they happen to notice a large group of fellow skiers and snowboarders gathered near the edge of the tree line. The clip shows the faint silhouette of a vaguely human-shaped creature in the forest.
Look at that.
According to the uploader, the animal was between 8 and 10 feet tall. As the camera holder zooms in, the large figure remains relatively stationary, but it seems to be manipulating something with its hands.
It does look weird. See, that's a weird one. My initial feeling is just it's a bear, but
Accounts of mythical giant apes
it definitely looks like a Bigfoot up there.
and throughout much of recorded history. Many names have been
We'll just say
assigned to
it's a
these
Bigfoot.
beasts. Sasquatch and
Absolutely,
Bigfoot tend to
100%.
be the most common names for cryptid apes in the United States, and dozens of sightings occur every year. Some scientists and cryptid enthusiasts believe that certain human ancestors or relatives could have survived into the modern era. They might be just so intelligent that they've continued to elude capture.
Sure.
However, if these intelligent creatures are truly roaming the wilderness, then it's only...
So I also think too that anytime that they describe like Slapped Ham describes a size, you really can't trust him that that's going to be the actual size. I think you got to look at more of what's around it and figure out the size for yourself, because this could be only a foot or two tall, but they're going to say 10 feet tall. Because when you say 10 feet tall, it's like, oh my God, there's no way that could be anything other than a Bigfoot or a bear. But I also think too that people are terrible at deciphering height and stuff like that of these kind of things. So yeah, I'm going to just say it's a bear up there grabbing onto a tree. But
In June
it's also just a
2021,
shadow, so it's hard to tell.
user Clax Attacks uploaded the following piece of footage, and it's been confusing and creeping out viewers ever since. Take a look.
Right, so you got a dog. You got some cars.
Hey! As you can see, some kind of large bipedal figure is walking slowly across the man's yard.
What the hell is that?
Hey! The uploader's pet dog is clearly on guard too, as it watches the mysterious figure from a distance.
What the hell is that? Hey!
Did you see? It almost looks like shoes. I think he says the thing is
The
red
uploader's pet dog
or
is
gray
clearly
or
on
something
guard
like
too,
that.
As it watches the mysterious figure from a distance.
What the hell is that? Hey!
The TikToker was at a loss to explain the sighting, and it left viewers wondering whether it was a trespasser or something more mysterious. Several days later, Clax Attacks gave a video update about the sighting.
I looked over and I saw it from behind that swing set out of the woods.
walked over behind that truck, or to that truck, and went.
And see, if he wasn't there, I don't think that I would have just immediately discounted it. It's the camera. And he even says it doesn't look the same. It didn't look the same in person. So whatever it was didn't look that pixelated and clear and, like see-through kind of thing. So there definitely is some of that low light pixelation going on with this camera. But let's let him explain the story.
I don't know what it was. It was brownish red in person. We have a street light, so I figured it'd pick up better. Apologize for the quality. Apparently zooming in at night will make any phones. I haven't seen it since, and hopefully I won't, but I still don't know if it was a person or a thing. Whatever it was big, and it was in my yard, and I don't like that. So
okay, that was a weird thing to say. There's a street light that I was hoping would pick up the image better. And he's apologizing that the image quality isn't good of what he was videotaping. All right, he had a guy walking through his woods, and he videotaped it.
So he's not seen the figure since.
So it's a guy like in a red cloak or something like that. And
theories in the comments section ranged from a Wendigo to a ghost,
A
or
Wendigo.
even a skinwalker.
a skinwalker.
Skinwalkers are mysterious entities that have their
damn
origins
it.
in Navajo folklore. They're
Everything's a
simply shamans
skinwalker.
that conjure black magic. They use their powers to shapeshift into animals and even other humans to lure their victims in before brutally murdering them.
I wonder if there's like
There's actually very limited
people of the Navajo tribes that watch these videos and just roll their eyes and laugh.
information on skinwalkers because Navajo
It's a
people tend not to
skinwalker.
talk about the creatures to outsiders. So could this really be a skinwalker?
It's a
Or is there
Canadian
another,
skinwalker
more
or
subtle
a
explanation?
South American
Your theories in
skinwalker.
the
It's like,
comment section down below.
come on, really? Yeah, I'm just going to say it's a guy with a red cloak on, and he wouldn't make the video. And that was it.
Few humans have the extraterrestrial
I don't believe anybody.
reputation of
Trust
Stan
you.
Romanek. Romanek claims that he's had numerous encounters with aliens, including abductions, telepathic communications, and even forced interbreeding to create alien hybrid children. This video is supposedly evidence of one of his alien encounters. The story goes that on the night this footage was captured, Romanek had fallen asleep at his computer while his stepson was having a sleepover with some friends. Something woke him in the middle of the night. In a sleepy haze, he thought he saw one of the young partygoers streak through the house naked. However, when he checked on the children, all of them were upstairs
I'm
asleep.
sorry about that. That's
Just
awesome.
when he was about to give up his search, he spotted something terrifying at his sliding glass door.
Oh, yeah.
Watch. As you can see, the creature looks remarkably similar to the one we were talking about earlier in this video. It has grey skin and dark almond-shaped eyes. Again, much like the typical aliens seen in pop culture. It watches motionless from the doorway, even as the camera is pointed straight at it. So what do you think?
Fake.
Are Romanek's claims that he's had close encounters with extraterrestrials the real deal? This video has been analysed by numerous experts, but the jury
By numerous
as to its
experts.
authenticity.
Yeah. Okay. Put yourself in this situation. Imagine that you saw a naked party goer. Remember, he's at a party too. He said he's having a party at his house. There's nobody there. Okay, so we know that's wrong already. And that he saw one of his party members naked running through the house. Okay, whatever. I mean, maybe he has better parties than I've ever been to. And then you come around the corner and you see this at your back door and you just kind of stare at it. He was there for a good 25, 30 seconds, it seemed like. Just looking at this creature. And then as soon as he kind of approaches, the creature just slowly moves away. No neck movement, no arm movement, just Just out of, it's a guy over there on the side, and he's got an alien thing in his hand, and he's doing this. But boop, there it goes.
Sticking with mysterious creatures, although this next one is almost
This one is
certainly
cool.
not CGI. It was uploaded to the Facebook group Weird, Fantastic and Odd Things by Max Jack. This bizarre-looking snake was found in Thailand by a local resident who took it home and fed it fish.
It's weird that it's in water.
The snake looks to be covered in green fur. Some comments suggested it might be some kind of algae growing on the snake's skin.
That's a good guess, but why? Like, why is it in the water? And I know there are snakes that live in the water, but this guy
The person who
lives
discovered
underwater
the
and then
snake
just
is
comes
going
up
to
for
hand the
air.
creature over to authorities
Look at
for
that.
research and identification. So until then, all we can do is marvel at this mysterious.
That's a good
animal.
one. Because I want to say that is real. I like that a lot, actually. So let's see if there's a
Our first segment of the day has some internet users debating whether werewolves
green
really do
hair
exist.
snake.
In May 2022, Reddit user Segwin shared a photo to the platform that seems to show something truly odd. The photo was captured on a game camera that takes pics automatically when movement is detected. The camera is positioned at an 8-foot high perimeter fence at Amarillo Zoo in Texas. In the photo, which was snapped in the early hours of the morning, you can see a bipedal figure standing to
Yeah,
the
that's
right.
that's this one I looked up earlier.
It looks to be covered in fur and has the features of a canine, yet it appears to be walking on its hind legs. It's these details that spurred some Reddit users to call this figure a werewolf. The shocked groundskeeper shared the photo to Reddit, hoping to get some answers from the community. Responses varied, with some wholeheartedly agreeing that the figure does indeed look like a werewolf, while others weren't quite convinced. Some suggested it could be a raccoon or even a piece of trash that's blown up against the fence. Ultimately, though, no one's been able to fully identify the figure, so unless more evidence comes to hand, this bizarre sighting will have to remain a mystery.
Yeah, so that's a fox standing up on two legs. This one I looked up. Foxes do stand up on two legs. It does look like it's standing kind of weird, but I think that's just the trail cam picture. But foxes do stand up on their hind legs, so you can actually look it up real quick. Fox standing on hind legs. Yeah, so they stand up on usually on trees, but they can do it. But if you look at the face, like it looks a lot like that. So I'm gonna say that that's just a fox stood up but moved, so it's like looking forward. So it's kind of like a blurred image as it went over. That's my statement on that one. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Chris runs a popular urban exploration
Urbex
called
Hill.
Urbex Hill. He frequently uploads videos of himself exploring buildings.
We don't like
around the
Urbex Hill.
world that are allegedly
We don't like his
haunted,
videos.
including schools, churches, cemeteries.
I don't have a
and
problem
in the
with
case
him.
of
I
this
just don't like
video,
his
the old
videos.
St. Joseph Riverside Hospital, located in Warren, Ohio. Built in the early 1960s, the St. Joseph Riverside Hospital was successful in its initial years, but in 1996 the hospital was officially shut down after HM Health Services assumed ownership of the Warren General Hospital. It was eventually purchased by Jim and Tom Dobson in 2003, who converted it into a few different businesses, including a private school, but eventually bankruptcy forced it to close. Ever since then, it's remained totally abandoned.
Maybe the ghost made it
Throughout the
close
video,
down.
Chris walks around the old hospital and explores its various rooms, which have definitely seen better days.
That's a creepy place. So it's our firm belief that Urbex still
For
has
the most part, all
a partner
seems to
with
go well for
with him.
Chris, up until about the
Either a
end of
girlfriend,
the days.
boyfriend,
Take a
or,
look
you
and see if
know,
you can spot
someone
anything unusual.
paid or volunteer that goes with him and adjusts things. Let's just say that.
It can be hard to see at first, but watching that again, keep an eye on the doorway on the left.
Yeah.
A strange dark hand appears to come out.
So it is something that one thing that I've noticed with a lot of these videos is you see this a lot, and I haven't figured out. I think it's something normal that occurs within the camera itself that does this, but I've seen this many times with a lot of these videos with these low light, and I don't know if he has a GoPro, but it feels like a GoPro. But that you see these like what look like hands coming from corners and stuff like that. I don't feel that it was put in post,
Plenty of viewers out who have since
but
been
is
debating
like
whether
just
or
an
not
issue with the
this is a
camera.
person,
You know what I mean?
a ghost, or even some sort of cryptid.
Yeah, see it?
The most common suggestion is that it may have been a homeless person. but
And it definitely could have been a
Chris
homeless
didn't
person.
hear or see anything as he explored
You're not alone in there, dude. You're not alone. But look at that. That place is freaking creepy as hell.
Obviously, no definitive
I would
answers
not
have
wanna
been
go in there.
given, but it's certainly an unsettling piece of footage nonetheless.
Yeah, that's what Urbex still got to start was. He was an urban explorer, and then he found a piece of paranormal evidence, and then that one took off.
Ago, we featured an eerie TikTok video by a user named
Yeah, I know what this
Foggy
one is.
John that seemed to show some sort of strange figure lingering around a backyard.
Yeah, you can see. I mean, the little white face, the beady eyes that glow.
The account has uploaded another video that's just as eerie. The uploader says that recently he's been finding strange holes appearing in his garage door. He checked his security camera footage to see what
And you can
was
see
going
here,
on,
like
but when he reviewed
the holes that
footage
he's talking
was
about.
recorded overnight,
There's one there
he was
and one
stunned
there.
at what he
I
saw.
want to show it to you because it took me a while to figure out where they were. So, yep. There's a creature trying to get into his thing. Little beady eyes.
A bizarre figure seems to be breaking pieces of the upload.
Anybody got any thoughts what that is? I know what it is. I know without a doubt what that animal is. And it is an animal.
It appears to be the same figure from the first video we featured.
And there, hold on. You can actually see it. Here, let's go back again. I'll pause it because there it is. Okay. What's that little thing right down there? That's a tail because that's a possum. Both pictures. So one was a possum going around. They have creepy looking faces in the daylight, but at night their eyes are really beady and they shine like that. So they look skull like at night. And in night vision, they look scarier, like infrared light. But that's a possum.
It appears to be the same figure from the first video we featured.
You see his tail. There's over to the right. Yep. That's a possum.
To this day, the uploader has no idea whether that's a person, an animal, or something else entirely.
He has no idea. Because if you keep watching the video, the possum's going to come through with all of his babies attached. Well, all the babies attached to her. And just looking for food or a place to stay.
As always, I'll throw this out to you, the viewer. What do you think that is? Let me know your theories in the comments section down below.
Yeah. Hey, possum. They eat ticks, and those ticks
There's probably
make you
many
allergic to
animals on
meat,
this planet
so
you've never
possums
seen
are my
in
friend.
person
I love
before,
possums.
and likely some that no one has ever seen. But what are the odds that one would be lying in the middle of the sidewalk? That's a question that many people have been asking since this bizarre photo and video clip started making its rounds on the internet.
And this is weird. Look at this thing. All right, so what I find so interesting about this is he can't peel it off with a stick. So whatever it is, it's like stuck to this thing. I might have figured it out. So it's definitely got like a tail. But look at that. He's prying it with a stick and it will not come up. See, like, look, it's hard as a rock. Look at that.
A man named Harry.
So what I'm wondering is part of that a rock and then an animal's just kind of attached to it? But it's the eye thing that really freaks me out. But I also know, too, that there are some people that put, like, rocks that look like things, like paint them to look like things. Like, there was one Facebook post that I saw that had, it was like a rock that looked like a toe or a finger. It's like, and they just threw it in a pile of other rocks, so someone walked by, it looked like a severed toe, and it was literally just a painted rock.
It's grey in colour.
But like, he cannot remove it with that stick. Look at that.
It seems to have small black eyes and a long tail. In the photo, its body shape is hard to make out, but it looks curled up. This has led many to believe that it's some sort of fetus, perhaps that of a sea creature.
See, and I don't think it is. It's
flooded.
I don't think it's an animal. But it's the tail that's really weird. But look at that. He cannot. He's getting underneath it and he cannot scrape it off with that stick.
And at a loss to explain the creature. Even her colleagues were unable
the
to
tail moves.
The animal. So is this a cryptid, a mutant, some sort of alien? As of right now, this odd-looking creature remains.
What's you guys' thoughts? What do you think that thing is?
Cryptids are animals that are claimed to exist but have never been scientifically classified.
This is a good one.
The footage you're about to see, which was submitted to the Facebook group Alter Extranitza by Alberto Rodriguez, shows a creature so strange it not only falls outside the realms of scientific classification, it almost defies explanation. It's not known exactly where the clip was filmed, but some think it's somewhere in South America. It starts off showing two farmers that seem a little...
So the first thing to notice is the quality of the video. It's very pixelated. It does not have a good dynamic range. It's just a cheap camera. I'm not trying to like put down these guys is probably the best they would have, but you have to kind of think about that before you see whatever you're going to see, because everything that's in the shadows is real blocky. Yeah, so there's the goats.
They seem to be particularly cautious of one of the goats.
It's almost like
it's brief.
You see it?
You can see something has attached itself to one of the goats.
This is a good video, actually. You see it? Look at that.
Here it is slowed down.
So you can see like there's an eye, and then there's like a leg or wing that comes up. And I do know that there are vampire bats. So it
almost looks like an enormous bat.
And vampire bats get big. Yeah, here, let me show you a picture of this. So if you look at a vampire bat, these are the small ones. No, vampire bats are small. That is right. It'd be more like there's another bat that is like massive like that. And he might not be eating or like feeding on the goat, but like just hanging out.
Seconds later, things turn from strange to outright creepy.
And this is where it gets weird.
Take a look.
And I've watched this. Don't have a good explanation for this. Look at that. That's it right there. And it looks like
Take a look.
It becomes a shadow. Or like, look at that.
Watching that again, the creature detaches itself from the goat and tries to escape across the yard. But as it does, it seems to resemble a thin shadow slithering along the ground.
So my only thought is that it's moving fast, and the camera doesn't know what to do with it, so it just it's just blurry. You can see like there's big blocks missing from it. It's like blocky. It's a blocky mess. Everything's blocky. So this thing could actually be moving, and it's the camera now that makes it look weird. So maybe it is just a big fruit bat that was attached to the goat, and then they scared it away, and then camera freaked out. Maybe that's it, but it looks really, really weird.
Slowed down.
That's also interesting too. Yeah, so the camera made it look like a solid piece. Like I thought, like something dribbled off of it, and that was there the whole time. This is like just some dark mark on the floor. That's interesting, isn't it?
The farmers chased the creature to a nearby river where they tried to drive it off the property.
You know, maybe it's a big injured bat that can't fly. Maybe not a chupacabra.
Later, we see a brief shot from a stationary camera showing the creature crawl across a rock. The clip
And that
ends
looks like a bat.
Wondering what the heck it is we just saw. Most viewers have been at a loss to explain what type of creature this is. Some have suggested the chupacabra,
Yeah.
a famous cryptid rooted
I mean, it's on a
in
goat, for God's sake.
folklore. They're notorious for their alleged vampirism, as many farmers have reported that they drink the blood of livestock, particularly goats. While the initial shot of the creature in this clip does match some descriptions of the chupacabra, a large head with fangs and bat-like ears, it's when it escapes across the yard that things get even more difficult to explain. How does the creature go from looking like a large bat to a thin, slithering shadow?
See, it like left a trail for a second there.
No one's been able
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna
answer.
say
Short
I'm
of
gonna
this
say that it
footage
actually
being a
was just
very
so fast that
well-executed hoax, this strange encounter will have to remain a complete mystery.
it just crapped the camera out. It's still such a freaky thing, man.
This next one
That
is some
was
strange
funny.
footage captured in Paraguay. It was uploaded to YouTube by The Rocket 3. This mother was recording her son when she inadvertently caught
You can see
something
it back
unnerving
here.
in the background. Take a look.
You see something moving, and then like something extend out, and then go back there. Even the dog's like, "Hey, what the heck is that?"
Some kind of unknown creature can be seen in the background behind a tree.
It's a sloth. It's a sloth.
If you slow it
It's
down
just a
and zoom in,
sloth,
you can see
guys.
a
Come
long
on.
limb stretching outward.
Look. Yep.
Two dogs clearly notice that there's something
Yeah.
back there.
Tengo sueño. ¿Quién te enseña a hacer esas cosas? ¿Quién te enseña a hacer esas cosas?
Naturally, people in the comments section were freaked out by the odd sighting, and as the views racked up, hundreds of viewers speculated on what the creature might be. Many thought it was an alien, while others said it had to be a cryptid of some kind.
Had to been one.
The pombero was a common suggestion. The pombero is a mythical creature
Nothing-
from Argentine and Paraguayan folklore. It's described as a small, hairy,
Oh my
human-like
God.
creature that lurks in the woods and steals chickens. The pombero is also said to play tricks on humans, such as hiding their belongings or making strange noises in the night. Some say they lurk in the shadows of woodland areas, often luring children in with berries and other treats, before dragging them off into the forest, never to be seen again.
Or it's a sloth.
More down-to-earth theory
There
in this
you
video
go.
suggested it could be a sloth. The brown-throated three-toed sloth is found throughout Brazil, Paraguay, and Ecuador.
There you go. And they have extremely long arms.
So what do you think this is?
It's a
An
sloth.
alien, a cryptid, or is it simply a delightful sloth coming for a visit? Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below.
Decime.
Hey, look, you can see it pulling off to the right. It's a brown sloth.
In November 2021,
And if you were from that area, that should have been your first thought. Like, if you, whoever took that video was like, oh, look, I got a sloth in the background.
Side of the road. They uploaded the strange footage to their TikTok account, Carolanan 1984, for all to see.
What'd you see?
What is that?
As you can see, a shadowy figure is lurking behind a tree on the side of the road.
Yeah, okay, so the important thing to look at here, this is an interesting one, is the shadow. So there's a shadow already. So the car light is over to the side. So the shadow is coming from whatever's on the tree. So really what's coming from the tree is this little thing right there with a white tail. And if you stop freaking out, and it's the shadow that is the weird part.
The uploader has no idea what it is, and with good reason didn't want to approach it to find out. When the footage went live, it quickly went viral, racking up millions of views, with thousands of comments speculating on the strange sighting.
See, I think that's what's making the shadow, but it's weird how the shadow goes back to the left, like that, like
A
this.
shadow person, or even just a creepy person lurking in a hoodie. Given that the uploader was with their grandkids, none of these suggestions bode well. One of the most suggested theories is a hide-behind. Hide-behinds are mysterious beings rooted in North American folklore.
Sure, I've never heard about that one.
Settlers tell of loggers going missing while out in the woods. Woodcutters were failing to return to camp en masse, and villagers blamed the hide-behinds. Legends say they're nocturnal creatures with the ability to conceal themselves behind almost any object. They're said to hunt humans for food, with their diet mainly consisting of innards.
Innards.
The Oregon sighting certainly does match the description of a hide-behind in many ways. So
It looks like an animal just poking its head out in the shadows. You're getting a weird shadow because of where it is. Because so the thing, like, when it first starts, there's already a huge shadow on the tree. The shadow is a weird shape, but there is, see, a little tail and white thing right there. So is it like the light? It's not as close as it seems, and and there's pushing more of a shadow. I don't know. Best I have is that it's an animal on the tree. I'm probably wondering why people are freaking out.
On August 23rd, 2021 at an undisclosed location. The homeowner received a text that movement had been detected outside their house. This is what they saw. As you can see, there's an emaciated person walking strangely through the yard.
Yeah.
Their limbs are extremely thin. Most commenters thought that this was someone on drugs wandering the property, and that the homeowner should have
That's what it
called
looks
the
like to
police.
me. Let me guess. Skinwalker.
There's no info on whether the uploader eventually notified the authorities or not. What would you do if you saw this in the middle of the night on your home security feed? Let me know down below.
It almost seems like one of their friends went over and is like, I'm gonna screw with this with my friend. Took his shirt off and started doing these weird things out there. Ooh. Like he forgot what he was doing and then like, oh yeah, it's still acting weird.
Japan Agency for Marine Earth Science and Technology.
It's creepy. I'm not gonna say it's not creepy.
When they filmed something mysterious in the waters of Sagami Bay, southwest of Tokyo.
Okay,
As
so
the Hyperdolphin ROV explored the murky depths, cameras were
That's
rolling,
cool.
capturing images of the deep sea habitat.
that is really cool. So I guess that's 850 meters
At
down.
first, everything seems fairly normal.
What I'm looking at is the numbers down here. I'm assuming that's depth.
Suddenly, out of the gloomy abyss, an unidentified creature appears.
Well, they're down even further, if that's what that is. Hello.
Its large, wide eyes are dotted just above a gaping mouth.
Ooh, that's a good one.
The creature's solid frame disappears into the cloudy background.
Is it just
When the footage first surfaced,
a rock?
it went viral around the world, with news outlets running stories that a new type of deep-sea species had been spotted. Some experts weren't so sure, however, speculating that it might actually be a case of pareidolia,
Yeah.
the human tendency to
See
see
faces.
familiar shapes in patterned
Yeah.
imagery. It's entirely possible that this is just
Is that like crabs on a rock that looks like a creature?
a rock with two well-placed shells, giving our brains the impression that a creature with a face is present.
It doesn't look like it looks like just a weird shaped rock.
However, in the footage, it does appear as though the object moves.
It's not. Because the camera's moving. Yeah, camera's moving. The thing is, yeah. See, when you get there, it's definitely a rock shaped. So what you're seeing is that part that looked like it was sticking out actually isn't, and then when you get over the top of it, it evens itself out, which looks like movement.
So
Looks
what
like
do you
movement.
think? Is this some kind of deep-sea cryptid that's yet to be classified by modern science? Or is there a simpler explanation?
Always a
Let us know
simpler
your take
explanation.
in the comments section down below.
Although, that'd be cool if there was a creature like that. I wonder what it tastes like. What was that little thing? What was that little floaty UFO there?
This next piece of footage, posted to TikTok by user MadRFCKRS, is rather creepy. It was supposedly captured somewhere in the Philippines. However, not much else is known about the clip. Take a look.
Super grainy. Okay.
As you can see, there's some kind of creature moving on the rooftop. It's dark outside and the camera only manages to capture glimpses. Yet, for the low light, you can see it fairly clearly. It appears to be humanoid. Its eyes look like they glow in the dark, likely reflecting the light of the camera. Its skin looks grey and it moves as though it's on its hands and knees.
So, like a monkey?
Despite the creature's rather creepy appearance, several viewers think that it might be simply a naked man. However, if this is the case, it doesn't really lower the creep factor. What would you prefer to see crawling around on your roof? An unknown cryptid or a naked...
Well, the reason I don't think it's human is that humans' eyes don't reflect normal light like that. It takes infrared light. Unless this is... it doesn't look like it's an infrared camera. It just looks like it's low light. So I'm going to say it's another animal that has better eyes adapted for, nighttime.
naked man with unknown intentions. Let me know.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling it's just like some sort of monkey or something up there.
Our last clip of the day comes from Facebook user Chayla Kelly.
Ooh.
In 2017, Kelly was filming a quick
What do we
update
got
for her
here?
socials when she noticed something odd in the background of one of the clips. Take a look and see if you can spot anything unusual.
Nope.
If we watch that again, slowed down, you can make out several little dark figures running through the grass. They almost look like meerkats running by. Kelly
Nope.
said they looked like black shadows and had no idea what they could be. The clip blew up on Facebook, hitting over 1 million views with hundreds of comments
They look like
speculating
chickens.
what the odd little figures might be. Some said it could be little people. According to Native American folklore, there
They
exists
look like
a race
chickens. But I think because she's going so fast and she's walking, you have no sense of direction of that. I don't think they're moving.
Take a look and see if you can spot anything unusual. If we watch that again, slowed down, you can make out several.
Yeah,
figures
I'm
running through the grass.
I'm saying that's just the way that she's moving the. Like these are probably closer to her than they look.
They almost look like meerkats running by.
Yeah.
Kelly said they looked like black shadows and had no
Not
idea
feeling
what they
those.
could be. The clip blew up on Facebook, hitting
Honestly,
over
they
1
look like two
million
chickens
views,
running
with lots of
around in
comments
there.
speculating on what
Like
the
just
odd
brown
little
feathers
figure
and
might be.
stuff like that. But I have a feeling that these things are a lot closer to her. And so when she's moving around, there's a term for it. It's not bokeh, but it's the effect that objects that are further away move faster. So, yeah. So the closer they are, they're going to look like they're moving
Some said
around.
it could be little people. According to Native American folklore, there exists a race of little people that live deep in the woods.
It's the
often near
little
rocky
people.
outcrops or sandy hills, and sometimes along secluded streams. They're said to be mischievous, singing and calling out while hiding.
yeah, if you
to
saw
confuse
that.
passing travelers.
What
While these
AI
beings
bullshit are you
widely
pulling up
believed to
now?
only exist in tales of myth and legend, back in the early 1830s, a burial ground was discovered in Coshocton County, Ohio. It's said that the unearthed graves contained skeletons that were only 3 feet high.
So children.
So could this clip be proof that the legendary little people really do exist? Or is there a more simple explanation here? Share your theories
Yeah.
with one another in the comments down below.
You can actually see it on our way back to it. Yeah, there it was. I saw it. It was just I saw it. Gotcha. It's a leaf. It's just a leaf on a reed.
Explanation here.
Yeah, look. It's right there. Yeah, you can see it. There's the branch. Comes up. There. These are not little people. These are things that are close to you.
Share your theories with one another in the comments down below.
Yeah. There it is, right there. Yep. Wow.
Are we
That is
alone
a-
in the universe?
that is called a
This
leaf
question
in the
that has
wind.
Fascinated humankind for centuries. If this
It did take me a while to catch it, though.
Paranormal witness is anything
so,
to go by, it seems
you know.
that the answer to this
I
question
never said I was smart.
is no. There's very little accompanying information other than the footage was supposedly captured somewhere in the state of Massachusetts in the United States. The clip, which was captured at night, shows a young girl walking down the steps of what is presumably their home.
Presumably.
She's not
Allegedly.
known, however, as an unidentified camera holder follows closely behind. It's unclear why the footage is being shot in the first place. Perhaps they heard a strange noise and decided to investigate. Whatever the reason, the girl walks down the stairs and heads outside.
They're
into
just
the
messing with their
darkness
night
of the
vision
night.
camera because we all have those, right?
For a few seconds, the footage is indiscernible.
Yeah. Because it's
Moments
horrible.
later, something truly bizarre is caught on camera. Watch. As you can see, they're confronted by a creepy, large-headed creature peering out from behind a tree. They're confronted by a creepy, large-headed creature peering out from behind a tree.
There it is. Okay.
Its face is pale and it has large, dark eyes. Its head is pointed at the
Do
bottom, giving its
people
face an
actually
inverted
believe
triangular shape.
that that's real and not
There's
just some
little
guy with a
denying that the
mask on, a
creature
Halloween
certainly
mask on?
resembles the classic depiction of an alien grey. Despite this, some viewers believe that the creature perhaps matches this description too obviously, suggesting it could simply be a human in a mask. One perhaps who planned to scare the little girl as part of a prank.
There you go.
Unfortunately, as there's no other information accompanying the video, it seems that this encounter will have to remain a mystery.
I think I've seen this before, and I think this thing is super, super old.
This next video is a compilation of several clips captured by fisherman and TikToker .source90. It documents his time out at sea when a series of strange events began to unfold. The compilation was uploaded to the platform by user Alexander Dodgson1. It begins as we can hear a strange, high-pitched sound coming from the ocean.
I hear him. Where's he at? What the fuck is that noise, bro? What is that noise?
At one point, the poster suggests that there might actually be a voice saying, "Jump for me." The fisherman then
sounds
retires
like a
to
dolphin.
his cabin where he begins to hear a mysterious
Or a
noise as if
porpoise.
something's banging on the walls outside. However, when he goes to investigate, there's nothing there. Yet he manages to capture this remarkable footage. Something appears to be swimming alongside his boat.
We got another one over here.
As you can see, there are actually two of them, one on either side of the vessel.
Is it a dolphin?
The objects move at speed, seemingly able to keep pace with the boat.
Boats don't go that
However,
fast.
we never get a clear indication as to what they actually might be. In the next clip, the
If you ever go on like a cruise and you see dolphins and stuff like that, they go faster than the cruise ship. So keeping up with the boat is not a big deal.
fisherman reveals a strange-looking bone that he claims to have caught in the dredge.
That looks like a tail to me.
Curious to find
Yeah, it
out
could
what
be.
it is, he decides to take it to the marine biology department at the University of Massachusetts.
Hey.
However, after an examination, it seems that the expert is unable to determine what type of animal it actually came from.
Cool.
Take a photo, Bob asked me to take a photo of it.
Absolutely. You've never seen anything like this?
I don't know what it is.
That's crazy.
Several
So,
viewers have suggested
so was that actually the scientist, or was that just some random guy that he found in the? Hey, do you work here? No. Hey, can you take a look at this anyway?
that this fisherman might have actually encountered mermaids. Also sometimes referred to as sirens, these creatures are known for their high-pitched call. That, along with the figures seen swimming alongside the boat and the discovery of the mysterious bone, all seems to suggest a connection to this creature. While sirens were originally depicted as bird-like in Greek mythology, they were often described as possessing the tail of a fish and the upper body of a woman. It was also thought that their voices could lure sailors into the sea. In Homer's poem The Odyssey, Odysseus is said to have been tied to the mast of his own ship in order to resist the sweet call of the siren's song. So does this footage show evidence of this mythological creature? If
Don't know why he
is it
didn't
really
just
attempting to lure the fishermen into
Wrap
the
his ears
sea?
too.
This remains an ongoing saga, and there are plenty more mysterious clips that TikToker Source.90 has captured from his boat. As always, I'll leave a link to his account in the description box down below. The following video was posted to Reddit by a user named ChittySock. The footage starts off normally enough as we
ChittySock?
watch the uploader's girlfriend's sister's daughter and
Wait,
her
wait. His what now?
and her friend making a video. The following video was posted to Reddit by a user named ChittySock. The footage starts off normally enough as we watch the uploader's girlfriend's sister's daughter and her friend
Girlfriend's
make a video.
sister's daughter. Right.
At
Well,
first glance, everything seems fairly normal about the footage, but if we watch that again, in the background, a mysterious dark figure can be seen walking around in the house before it eventually disappears without a trace.
oh, saw it again actually.
What makes this video even more unsettling is that there was no one else in the house when the girls were filming. When you slow the footage down, it almost looks as though the entity walking by the two young girls doesn't have any discernible features.
Other than, look, there's her. This is her thing, right? A little bit of skin, and what looks like a sock or a toe. That's a foot. That's what it looks like, a foot or something like that to me. You can see it really well there. And then, see, it disappears. It's behind her now. And then it actually...
The uploader says he has absolutely no idea what this figure is and what it was.
She just didn't
doing
realize
inside
that
the
her
house.
foot or
But
hand
thankfully,
or...
the two young girls in the video were safe and no harm was done. Was this an intruder or something more paranormal? Either option doesn't bode well.
You can actually see it again. Yeah. There it is. See? It just fell. It was there twice.
Has absolutely no idea what just before 9.
Oh, I want to go back. Is it there? And then it drops. There. See? So, I think it's her hand. She just didn't realize her hand was in the shot. And then got freaked out by it. Because it looked weird.
2021, an owner of a homestead in Birch Bay, Washington, captured something
Bigfoot trail cam.
mysterious on one of his trail cams. He uploaded the footage to his YouTube channel, Jimmy B Trail Cams, for all to see. Take a look.
Pretty good. And it just disappears.
Captured just before 9 p.m.
that
on one of the
pixelation,
trail
man.
cams placed deep in the woods, we can see a large figure walk from left to right.
Wait a minute. Was that added in post?
April 2021.
I think that was put in
a homestead
digitally.
in Birch Bay, Washington, captured something truly mysterious.
So look,
on
if you
one
look
of
at this
his trail
deer,
cams.
right? There's no pixelation around the deer, even though this is a crappy camera.
He uploaded the footage to his YouTube channel, Jimmy B.
So you can already
Trail
see
Cams, for
there's all of this and that typically is because you put it into a piece of software and then you're not you don't get the bit depth right.
all to see.
So these styrations, like you can see, I don't know if you can see it, I don't know if it's actually showing up, but the original footage, there are gradient lines all throughout this. Like that there's a light source here, and then there's tons of noise here. There are none of those in the image of like that don't get manipulated, but let's see.
Take a look.
So what, yep, he comes out of that mass. Yeah. And then he just kind of disappears into the pixelation, the
Captured just
styration. So
before 9 p.m. on
it feels
one
like
of
this
the
thing
trail
was added
cams
in.
placed deep in the woods, we can see a large figure walk from left to right.
And even like the things that he walked in front of, which are this and this, I wonder if they were added in later. Yeah. Like I don't think those might not exist in the original image. They were added in for him to walk in front of.
Whatever it is, its enormous stature becomes apparent when it lumbers behind a row of trees.
Well, we don't know how tall it is.
Eerily, just a few weeks later in May, 4 trail cams placed around the property went missing. Some viewers speculated that it might just be a hunter in a ghillie suit and that they spotted the trail cams dotted around the property and decided to steal them. Others thought the footage was just a hoax. However, all the other trail cam footage uploaded to the channel features well-known wildlife like deer.
Yeah, see, and this looks real to me. You don't have any of those gradient lines, and the gradient lines are that's what throws it off immediately for me. Because whenever I try to go in and manipulate any dark areas, like if I'm doing color correction for this and I get this wrong, I get gradient lines in it because I didn't match
Deer and foxes.
like bit
There's
depth.
nothing to suggest that this
See,
property owner
no
is
gradient
into
lines in
pulling
any of these
pranks.
pictures.
So what do you make?
But this one is highly,
Sighting?
like,
Could it really
yeah.
be the legendary Bigfoot? Let me know your take on this down below.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's faked.
TikTok user Sergio Luis Reese was just enjoying a nice summer day on a Brazilian beach when he was suddenly interrupted by a jellyfish-like monster that looked like it belonged on another planet. The creature, which had a bulbous head and long tentacles, floated
I honestly think that all jellyfish belong on a different planet.
near the surface of the
They all look really
waters,
weird.
just a few yards away from the cameraman.
Alienígena, velho.
Like any young man in this day and age, he quickly busted out his phone.
I
to
would have
take a
too.
quick
That
video
is cool
to
looking.
share on social media. Although the creature seemed to just float near the surface for the duration of the short clip, there's no denying that its presence must have been somewhat unnerving. Several varieties of jellyfish roam the planet's oceans. But
it looks like a
larger
jellyfish to me.
varieties typically stay away from shallow waters.
What do you guys think? Is
So
that just
far,
is that just a
no
jellyfish?
biologists have commented on this strange video. There's a good chance that the specimen was simply a sick or injured jellyfish that had lost its sense of direction. This could explain its docile nature and strange appearance.
Docile.
However, it doesn't seem to...
Wait, did he just say the jellyfish has a docile nature? Is it supposed to be pulling out a knife, getting into a fight, getting drunk at a bar? Like, what is it supposed to be doing right now? Like, attack jellyfish.
resemble any extant jellyfish
Come out and-
species. Did Sergio Luis Rees come across an entirely new species? Or did he just happen to cross paths with an ugly duckling? If it was just
It
an
looks
extant
cute.
species, then why was it so close to the shore? And
Jellyfish go by the...
creatures been spotted.
All right, seriously, if you guys have been to the beach, like especially like Destin, in Florida, the jellyfish hang out all on the beach, and you step on them all the time. So him being weirded out that there's a jellyfish near the shore, it's a bit dumb.
It's
a bit stupid.
Extensive
Bit dumb.
coastline.
What does that mean? Aita. I wonder what that means. Is that like a swear word or a racial slur that I just said?
Our first clip of the day was posted to Reddit by user Omar1R03. It's footage of two men exploring a collapsed cave system in Jordan. As they approach a filled-in tunnel, take a look at what they see.
See, that looks like someone actually put the rocks in front of a tunnel. Ooh, I missed it. What was that?
As one of the men removes several rocks, you can see some kind of face on the other side. It almost looks like a person covered in dust or some kind of disfigured animal.
Yeah, it's just someone in there.
The Redditor who uploaded the clip asked the question whether this could be a ghost or a jinn. According to Arabic folklore, jinns are paranormal beings. They're believed to inhabit an unseen world parallel to our own. It's said that
It's creepy, but it looked like the rocks were stacked in front of that cave entrance. Like it didn't look like a natural cave in, like you said.
Benevolent beings that can help or harm humans depending on their mood or whim. They're described as having dark, soulless eyes, sharp claws and teeth with elongated fingers. Reactions to this clip have been varied over on Reddit, but most people were freaked out by the eerie sighting. One plausible explanation suggested it could be a toy doll covered in dirt, and if you slow it down, you can almost see the resemblance.
Yeah, actually.
Still freaky, nonetheless.
Yeah. And it's way too, yeah, you know what? That's what it is. They added it later.
Doll, or could it be some kind of cryptid yet to be classified by modern science? Let us know in the comments down below.
And yeah, and the way it moved off to the side, it didn't look real. I think they're right. It was a doll that was added later in post. That's great. That's a good one.
Footage of the ever elusive and legendary Loch Ness Monster. 54-year-old Richard Maver was competing in the Great Glen Canoe Challenge in September of 2021 when he accidentally spotted something strange swimming in the waters of Loch Ness. While capturing drone footage for his YouTube channel, Richard Outdoors, the camera picked up something swimming in the shallow waters near the shoreline. At first, Maver didn't notice anything in the water. It wasn't until he uploaded the footage that a few keen-eyed viewers spotted the strange shape. Take a look.
He said it was the Great Lake. Like, is this Loch Ness or Great Lakes? Yeah.
As you can see, there's a long object floating in the water. It does indeed resemble the classic depiction of the Loch Ness Monster. A long neck with a broad body and fins. Maver told the Daily Mirror that he couldn't believe what he had captured. He had to rewind the footage several times before the sighting finally sank in.
It's tiny.
Some
It's smaller than a.
analysts
It's about the
suggested
same
it
size
might
as a
just be a
kayak.
log floating in the water, or even an optical illusion caused by the waves.
Yeah.
However,
It could
NASA
also be
dieharders
a
are certain
cloud
this is yet another
that's
piece of
reflecting.
evidence that an ancient cryptid is living in the murky waters.
I wonder if that's what it
of Loch
is.
Ness.
Yeah, it's a cloud. Yep. It's a cloud reflecting. So as this drone changes position, it looks like it's moving.
Our last clip
Clouds.
today seems to hint at something terrifying.
Ooh, the howls
In the
of
darkness.
Bigfoot. I think we've seen this one
Traveler
before.
Perez was parked at a rest stop in Oregon along Route 97 when he heard something terrifying emanating from the woods nearby. The California local uploaded the footage to his TikTok account, Danny Ramirez 221, for all to see.
We'll see if you guys can figure out what it is. I want you to tell me what it is. There it is. So what does everybody think? What does everybody think this is?
An ominous howl echoes through the trees.
Starting to regret that I stopped at this rest stop.
At a loss to explain the sounds, Danny suggests it could be the roar of a Bigfoot.
Of course. I mean, that's what I would naturally think. Next to the pit stop on Highway 97.
I don't ever want to stick my arm out the window.
Danny says that after he got done filming, the driver of the adjacent red truck came over asking if he heard the bizarre sounds. Eerily, a lot of viewers said that they too had heard similar howling sounds along Route 97, particularly in Oregon. For decades, the Pacific Northwest in the United States has been a hub
it's a
of
big cat.
Sasquatch and Bigfoot research.
And
The
I don't
entire
mean
region
cat.
has had
I mean like
reports of giant ape-like creatures,
bobcat
strange howling sounds,
or something
and
like
there's
that.
even been evidence of giant footprints left behind in mud found on numerous occasions.
If you
One of the earliest and most
there's also a
notorious
bird too
encounters
that makes a
happened in
sound
the
that
summer of
sounds like that too.
1924,
There's a
when
lot
group
of
gold
creatures
prospectors came out of the forests of
that
Bounce
make
and Hallett's,
really
speaking
weird
about an
noises.
encounter with a pack of tall, hairy bipedal creatures. Fred Beck, Gabe Lefever, John Peterson, Marion Smith, and Smith's son Roy said they were attacked by 4 7-foot-tall gorilla men who threw boulders and howled ferociously. They claim the creatures were erect
And they smell
or
like
much the
they
same
smell like
way
crap too.
humans
They smell
do.
terrible.
They were
That's
covered in
my favorite thing about
fur,
Bigfoot
weighing
is
an
that they
estimated
stink.
400 pounds each. The men allegedly suffered injuries after their camp was
So it's basically just a
bombarded by
teenager,
large stone boulders for several
angry,
hours
throwing
in
stuff
the
at
early
you.
morning. The miners managed to escape at
You never
first
see
light
'em,
and alerted
and they
authorities of
stink.
their ordeal as soon as possible. However, after a thorough search of the area, some 8 miles from Spirit Lake, there was no evidence of the creatures at all. Some have suggested the prospectors made the whole story up for fame and fortune.
Well, they were
Back on the
prospectors too,
Ramirez
so maybe prospectors, so people that are searching for gold or riches, made up the Bigfoot story to keep people away so that they won't go and look for the gold and other stuff that they found.
Some viewers said the sounds
People do
resembled
weird
that
stuff for
of a
money.
wolf at certain times.
It sounds like a wolf almost. And just you're getting a lot of echo from wherever it is.
But in other parts, they sound too unique and guttural to be a wolf.
Starting to regret that I stopped at this rest stop.
So are we hearing the secret language of a Bigfoot here in the Ramirez footage?
You know, it'd also be great too, is if it was like someone out there with a megaphone, like a loudspeaker playing, just to freak people out at the rest stop.
Or is there another way to explain these bizarre hauntings?
No, I think it's like a cougar or something like that. I don't. If you Google like big cat sounds when they are crying like that, you understand really quickly. And the other thing too is elk. And there's some other animals as well, but they sound really freaky. When we were in Estes Park, they had, I believe it was elk around, and the noises that they made were chilling. Deer even can make really scary sounds as well. So if you hear noises coming from the woods, you look to see what the animals are that live in the area. Not Bigfoot, just what are the animals, and can they make those kind of sounds? And I think the answer is yes, they can. And oftentimes too, like those cries, they're not like roars of like anger. They're like cries almost. They're scary, man. They're just things out there are scary in the woods. That's why we are scared of the woods. Well, but that was it for me. Thanks again, everybody, for joining. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch, wherever you want to follow. And I hope you guys have a great Friday and a great weekend. Thank you very much.